Good morning. My name is Connor Fletcher. I am the senior buyer for this solicitation. The solicitation is RFP-24-24813, Progressive Design Build Services for Lutz Area Pipeline and Pump Station Construction. For the record, this meeting is being recorded and has been publicly noticed. Today's meeting is being held by means of media communications technology. Active participation will be for everyone in attendance. Provisions have been made for any member of the public desiring to have access to view this meeting to attend it. The meeting will also be available by recording after the meeting has ended. Please mute your audio unless you are speaking. Proposers are cautioned that only a written addendum may change the bid document. Any statements or comments made by the county at this meeting which might appear to modify the document shall be considered by proposers as only a tentative position of the county. In order for these statements to be considered as an actual change to the solicitation, they must be published in a written addendum. One addendum has already been published for the solicitation. Please be advised that the cone of silence is in effect and bidders should not contact any employees other than those identified in the cone of silence clause in the bid document. All questions should be submitted in writing via vendor discussions in Bonfire to me. The deadline for questions will be 14 days from today. Please submit them earlier than that so that responses can be provided in a timely manner. I will now ask Richard Harrison, the PM, to introduce himself, and he may begin.
Thanks, Connor. My name is Richard Harrison. I'm project manager for this opportunity. And if I could, I'd like to just walk through the scope. It's 4 pages long on the Bonfire portal. I just downloaded a copy this morning off the Bonfire portal, so all of you should have access to it as well. But I'm going to use that as my talking points, and I'll share that on the screen in a moment. So I hit the share button. So Connor, can you confirm that you can see the shared document?
Yes, sir, you're good to go.
Okay, so this opportunity is to build some potable water and wastewater pipelines and other infrastructure for the county, and also do a little bit of demolition. If you haven't had a chance to look through the project scope document, it's only 4 pages, so I recommend you read through it, of course. It talks about the points of connection, the routes, approximate lengths and sizes. Talks about the successful bidder coming up with an optimized route study and line sizing recommendation. So that's all in this document. This is on the Bonfire portal. Of course, it's a progressive design build for this opportunity. So again, the first phase is to get to the 60% with a guaranteed maximum price. And then the second phase, after the county approves the project to go forward, will be to get to the final design and construction completion and demolition. So that is all in the Bonfire portal for this opportunity. And if you have any questions about it or need clarification on any issues, please contact Mr. Fletcher, and we'll be happy to respond to clarify anything that may be needing clarification. So that's the key document scope-wise. If it's possible, Connor, I'd like to share a couple of additional things that we can include as addendums, just general information things, just to kind of give people some background on the project. So I've got a little set here of some documents. 3 of these I'm not going to share in this meeting, but I just want you to know, all the bidders to know that they're available, so that when you start to work on this project, there will be resources that are available. We have some preliminary survey work done. We have for the wastewater plant, we have the topographical survey and some other surveys done for that facility. For a pond area that to the west of the facility, we have some survey work done there. We have some survey work done on Hannah for one of the proposed pipelines, and also we have some survey work for one of the wastewater facilities at our Sunset location. So I'm not going to pull those up here in the interest of time, but I just want everybody to be cognizant that they are available to kind of get you jump started, hopefully, if you do win this award. And then just general information. This was previously presented in a town hall meeting we had at the library in Lutz, but this is one excerpt from that presentation. So it's already kind of been publicly made available in some ways. So one of the segments for the water mains is the Hannah Road portion, and that's going from Piermage in the south, point of connection. We have a fire hydrant down there and an 8-inch county water main. And we'd like to run from that point of connection north, and that would tie in near Wild Rose Drive on Hannah. And that would supply water to the southernmost point of connection for the Windermere neighborhood. And then with that in mind, I'm going to show just a general Windermere service area map that also has been presented previously in the meeting we had at the library some months ago. So this red box you see on the right is generally the surface area for Windermere. And the major points, major routes for water were from the south coming up and tying here at Wild Rose. That's the southern map that I just showed you. And then on the north end, we're looking at Sunset Lane as being the point of connection there and the new pipeline there. There are a few communities along the way we're going to pick up that are currently served by our small systems that we've purchased over the years. And I can show you a little more detail on that route for Sunset. This is from our planning group. So it's the green showing up on the map. Hopefully you can see it. The blue is all showing existing water mains that the county has, and also that they've acquired over here on the east as part of the Windermere acquisition. And Cypress Cove is one of the ones we're going to try and pick up and connect to with our county main as we build out this infrastructure. So again, point of connection on this segment is going to be near the intersection Sunset Lane and US Highway 41 at the optimum point of connection there to be determined. We'll route it east, and our planning team sizes this as a 12-inch, but again, the engineer is going to need to confirm that. And then points of connection will be Cypress Cove, Nye Park right here, which is called out in the scope document, and also San Remo, which is up here to the north. We have a small systems well up here that we're going to eventually close as part of this project once we get this water main built and everything connected and commissioned. So there'll be well closures, and at Cypress Cove, there's one there. I think there's two at San Remo, if I remember correctly. We've got a total of 3 wells currently for the Windermere area, and then 1 over here at Sunset. So I think the total count is 8 wells that'll need to be grouted and closed. And in addition to that, we've got, let me close these out. Go over here and get to a graphic that's a little more for people that aren't would prefer pictures to maps. There's a couple of pictures we can show you. So this is from the county property appraiser website, their aerial, and this is showing the wastewater plant at Windermere and some of the 3 ponds that are adjacent to the plant. And then we have 2 what we call remote ponds further to the west that are on Sparland Road over here. Now, when we go to build the master pump station, it'll be sited. Our plan A is to put it over here near the wastewater plant. But as a possible alternate, we may look at putting it over here on Sparland, although we can talk about which one will turn out to be the best location. And part of the engineer's job is going to be to say which one's the better location and why, and make a recommendation for that. And so beyond that, we have another area we can share that's public info. This is, of course, showing the water tower that's going to have to be demolished eventually. Just so you're aware, the well supplying this water tower is in the strip mall at Sunset Plaza, the corner of Sunset Lane and US 41. And there's an underground line that goes over here to supply the water tower. And then, of course, from here it goes back to the plaza. And the county has already built an extension of our water main that's in the process of being commissioned. That runs basically on the south edge of this parcel for Sunset Plaza, and it terminates on some meters that were recently installed over here to the north of the tower. So that's kind of generally our plan, is to get this water system commissioned in October, get the plaza onto the county water main, and then basically cap and eventually demolish this water tower. Now, the reason I'm showing this picture is, of course, the demolition of the tower is part of the scope of this offering. In addition to that, we may very well build our small transfer lift station here to take the waste from Sunset Plaza and pump it to the corner of Cypress Creek and Burnside is what's called out in the scope document. You'll see that in the scope document. But that's kind of the executive summary. In the interest of time, I just wanted to share those documents to kind of give everybody an overview. Connor, is there anything that I missed that I should share or delve into beyond that?
No, sir, not this time. But if you do think of something, Diana Walker from Economic Development will have a brief stint here, so you can recover after that.
Thank you. Diana, with no further ado, if you don't mind sharing your portion, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Diana Walker. I'm with the MBE and SBE programs under Economic Development. And I'll be touching base on 2 points. The first one, since this is a progressive design build, there is bonus points that can be given in regards to the DMDWBE participation goal. The bonus points are in exchange, you would be agreeing to 10% or more of a DMDWE participation in the design portion of phase 1 for this project. To be eligible for the bonus points at the time of the bid submittal, you will have to submit a request for the bonus points and the letter of commitments and all supporting documentation with its proposal. If the firm elects to request those bonus points, they will be contractually obligated to meet the established overall DMDWE goal set for the project, which is based on the total contract price. So to start with this progressive design build project, if you request the five bonus points, you will be committing to a 10% on the design phase. But the overall goal on this entire project is of 14%. So a 14% MBE goal was set on this project. So we would be doing a check-in once the design phase is completed and before the notice of proceed of construction would be issued to make sure that the 10% was achieved. And then for the overall project, we would be expecting a total of 14%. So if you were able to achieve the 10%, then you would only be expected to meet the additional 4%. So you can meet that overall 14%. For the request letter, on there, you would have to request the 5 bonus points, list who your MBE potential MBE subcontractors would be, and then the letter of intents for each one of those MBE listed, along with proof of their updated certification with the county. You are able to use MBE firms that are not certified with Hillsborough County as long as they are not on our denied, graduated, or previously received reciprocal list, which all can be found on the county's website. And the link is in the addendum along with the contract terms that you can easily access there. If you do have any questions, when it comes to the certification or the request for bonus points, that is something that you can definitely reach out to our office and we are able to assist despite the cone of silence. And then further along in this project, after the notice to proceed with design, but prior to the issuance of the notice to proceed with construction by the county, the prime contractor will have to submit a completed subcontractor material list, also known as the MBE1 form, for the construction portion of this project. And it would have to be approved by our department before moving forward. We do have an online active directory that is easily accessible to everyone on the county's website. It can be accessed by going to hcfl.gov/MWSBE, and I'll post this in the chat. And you can search by commodity codes or business description, or if you need help pulling any of those reports, you can definitely reach out to our office as well, and we can assist you with that. I think that is all I have.
Okay, thank you. Richard, have you come up with anything additional?
No, I think that kind of is a good introduction, and I think if there are any questions, they can post them to the group and we'll respond to everybody.
All right, if there are any superficial questions, you can pose them. However, it is noted that any response given here is not formal. And all written only written addendum will actually modify the contract documents as written and provided. Joe DiStefano, go ahead.
You're muted, Joe.
Sorry about that. It looked like the chat was turned off but the question I had was for Diana. On some of these projects, you guys have allowed second tier and third tier subbing to help meet the DBE goal. I didn't see it on this one. What's the situation regarding that on this project?
We will note that. We will note that one down. We'll review it with the. As you saw, the addendum that recently went out contained a vast portion of this. There was a mix-up, so it may be absent, may need to be added, or it may not exist. But we'll provide a formal response on Bonfire. Probably not this week with the hurricane, of course, but soon.
Okay.
Going once. Twice. Okay, thank you everybody for your attendance. This meeting will be posted to our YouTube channel as soon as available. If there are any questions, please use Bonfire discussions to message me, Connor Fletcher, directly. Thank you.
Thank you very much for attending.